Bahlool once was hosting a guest at his home. In the evening, while he was busy talking with his guest, a messenger from the judge arrived. The messenger said, "Mr. Bahlool, the honorable judge invites you to be his guest tonight." Bahlool replied, "Please convey my apologies to the judge and tell him that Bahlool already has a guest tonight and cannot attend his gathering." The messenger left, but after a short while he returned and said, "Mr. Bahlool, the judge says he is also waiting for Bahlool's guest." So Bahlool set off toward the judge's house together with his guest. On the way, Bahlool advised his guest, "Be careful. Wherever I sit, you must sit there too. Whatever I eat, you eat the same. Until you are asked, do not speak. And if no one asks you to do anything, do not act on your own." The guest laughed silently to himself and thought, "Look at this. A madman is giving me advice." When they reached the judge's gathering, the room was full of many guests. Bahlool sat near the door, but his guest went and stretched his legs at the far end of the gathering. As more guests arrived, each new guest sat between the door and Bahlool. In this way, little by little, Bahlool himself ended up sitting at the head of the gathering. After some time, food was served and then fruit was brought. There were no knives with the fruit, and everyone waited for knives to arrive so they could cut and eat the fruit. Suddenly, Bahlool's guest put his hand into his pocket, took out a knife with a golden handle and said, "Let's use this knife to cut the fruit and eat." All the guests stared at the knife in amazement, because it was very beautiful and had a golden handle. They were surprised that a man who looked poor and needy could carry such a golden knife in his pocket. 6 brothers were also present at the gathering. After seeing the knife, they signaled to one another and made a plan against Bahlool's guest. The eldest brother addressed the judge and said, "Honorable judge, this knife belonged to our father. It was lost many years ago, and now we have found it in this man's pocket. We demand that the knife be returned to us and that this man be punished." The judge asked. The eldest brother protested, "Judge, do not allow Bahlool to take this man home, because Bahlool will teach him something that will destroy our claim." The judge turned to Bahlool and said, "Bahlool, do you promise that you will not teach this man anything if I let him stay with you tonight?" Its head lowered into the manger, eating fodder. Bahlool picked up a heavy stick and struck the donkey on the back. The donkey jumped in pain. Bahlool addressed the donkey and said, "Oh, donkey, didn't I tell you not to speak when you enter a gathering? Wherever I sit, you should sit there too. If no one asks you to do anything, don't put your hand into your pocket. Why did you ignore my advice? Now you have caused trouble for yourself and for me. Tomorrow you'll go to prison, and people will say that Bahlool couldn't even protect his guest." He struck the donkey again and said, "Oh, donkey, if tomorrow the judge asks you whether the knife belongs to you, say no. Say that you found it long ago and have been searching for its owner. Now that the owner has appeared, you are ready to return it. And if the judge asks where you found the knife, tell him, 'My father was the leader of a trading caravan years ago. One night, bandits killed him and looted his goods. When I stood beside my poor father's body, this knife was embedded in his heart. I pulled it out and buried my father. Since then, I have been searching for my father's killers. I show this knife in every gathering, hoping the owner will appear. Judge, today my father's killers have been found. These 6 brothers killed my father and stole his wealth. Order them to return my father's property and pay blood money." Bahlool struck the donkey again and said, "Oh, donkey, do you understand, or shall I beat you again in the morning?" The donkey's owner said, "Dear Bahlool, not only the donkey, but I have understood too. I promise that in no gathering will I sit above my status. I will not speak unless asked, and I will not reach into my pocket unless requested." Once Bahlool was sure the man understood, he went to sleep peacefully. In the morning, he woke the man, took him to the judge, and returned home. The judge asked the man, "Does this knife belong to you?" The man replied, "No, this knife does not belong to me. I have been searching for its owner for a long time. Since it belongs to these 6 brothers, I gladly return it." The judge turned to the 6 brothers and said, "Look at the knife. If it belongs to you, take it." The eldest brother took the knife and said with a smile, "Judge, I am sure this is my father's lost knife." The other 5 brothers repeated the same. The judge then asked the man, "Where did you find this knife?" The man told the full story of his father's murder and the knife found in his heart, and declared that the 6 brothers were his father's killers. The 6 brothers looked at one another in fear. Realizing they were trapped by their own lie, the eldest brother said, "Judge, I am no longer certain this knife belonged to my father. Many years have passed. Perhaps I am mistaken." The other brothers reluctantly agreed. The judge laughed loudly and said to the man, "Take your knife and go to Bahlool. I am certain Bahlool taught you all this, because you could never have said such things on your own." The man, prostrated in gratitude, took the knife and left. For more interesting and enjoyable stories, subscribe to our channel.